Hello and welcome to my Floss Tube Quilting, Crafting, Stitching with Jolly on the Road channel. It's been a while since I had an update, and there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I have a cold, so I apologize for any coughing I have to do. It's getting better. It's almost all gone. And the daughter, her husband and 2 children and 5 dogs are still here living with us for a few more weeks. They close on their house the end of the month, and they'll be moving probably the first week in October. So, of course, that has been a lot of fun. I love being home when Raven gets off the school bus. They drop her off right at the driveway, so that's perfect. We do take her in the morning. Somebody does. Her parents usually. And she's enjoying first grade. She got her first report card, doing good, making progress, on point, on task, love her teacher. Really going to miss being able to be so close to her school when they move, because they're going to be about 40 minutes away. The fun part of that is, of course, Price is going to preschool 3 days a week. But the fun part of the grandkids here are they love to come out and hang out in my she shed, and they love to watch YouTube videos on my TV in here, which means I don't get to listen to my books on Audible when they're in here. And I love to be in here listening to my books, but I love having the grandkids in here much, much more. So we're having a lot of fun with that. Books from the library, reading, flashcards. Nana made flashcards for words, and she's doing those very, very well. So it's been a lot of fun, and I love it when I get ready to go to work at Chick-fil-A and little Price runs up and squeezes me so hard with the best hugs. I mean, when you only get them twice a year, I mean, to be able to get them every day, it's pretty amazing. So there's that. We have, besides their 5 dogs, we have 2 dogs of our own. Kramer, who's 14, and Scruffy Puppy, who's about 4 or 5. And 4 or 5 years ago, Kramer was having some issues, health issues, and my husband was just brokenhearted that something was going to happen to Kramer and he wouldn't have his little buddy. We rescued Kramer when we were full-time RVing on the road in California. He is actually from San Luis Obispo. And he's just been having some difficulty walking, shaking. He's lost some weight. And I have actually never had a dog that lived past 14 and a half. They all seem to go about the same time. And so we know that time is coming. We're back to giving him his hip and joint medicine. And he'll act funny some days, and then the next day he's perfectly fine, acting like a puppy again. So who knows? I don't know if it's just his health issues. He's not eating well, which leads to the weight loss. Is that a stress issue because of the other dogs? We try to keep him as comfortable as possible. He loves to lay behind the couch, which he still does every day. We put him in our bedroom with us at night when he wants to go. If he doesn't want to go and he doesn't want to get up from behind the couch, then he stays there. So trying to keep him comfortable. So that's going on. I talked a lot about my daughter moving in because that was really the main focus of our summer here. I spent the month of July in California helping them pack up. And then they've been here all of August and September. And I forgot to tell you that I think it was the end of June, my son, who is a senior chief petty officer in the Navy, he was married for 10 years and divorced. And he met his high school sweetheart down here in North Carolina where we live. And she was also married for 10 years and got divorced. And they met up after all of that happened and started their romance again. She has a little boy that's 7, I think, 7 or 8 now. We love him to death. He's part of the family now. And they went on vacation to Glacier National Park, and he popped the question, and she said yes. So we have a wedding next summer with Justin and Allison. Super excited about that, and glad that Ollie is going to be a part of our family permanently. And so that's really, really sweet. Finally, getting my work schedule straightened around at work. I told my bosses that when I left for July, that when I came back, I wanted to work 3 8-hour days instead of working like 4 or 5 6-hour days. You know, I usually work 6 hours. But So that was it's taken a while to get that to happen. First he scheduled me 3 days, then the next week I was 4 days, 8-hour days. I don't want to work 4 8-hour days. I'm almost 70 years old. And, but finally this coming week, I have 3 complete 8-hour days. So I'll be working Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this coming week. And Thursday is the Applique Guild that I'm part of, our road trip, which is going to be a shop hop to a couple of shops in Charlotte and in the area down there, and out to lunch with the girls. So we'll see how that goes, if anybody wants to go. We were going to do something else, but the company got sold out and can't do that anymore. So I'm super excited to get my work schedule so I'll have more time at home. And since I've had more time at home, I have actually haven't been to do a lot of cross stitching, though I did start a new cross stitch. It's called Raven Blue. The artwork is by Joe Lynch. It's a Heaven and Earth design, of course, designed by Michelle over there. And excuse the cough. And my granddaughter Raven, her mom named her Raven because she thought she would come out with all this long dark hair, and she came out with a little wispy light brown hair. But we love our little bird, and this is what I've got started on it. Lots of beautiful blues and purples. I just love the colors. It's a smaller size. It's like 9x9 when it's done. And here's my beautiful colors that are going to go, that are all part of it. It's teals. And now my dilemma is, I don't know what you guys do. When I buy all this floss for all these different projects and I put them on floss drops, and then I want to work on a project, I don't always work on just one project. I like to have several. But what do you do? Do you buy more of the same to kit up your next project? Or do you go around and rob from all your other projects to work on that one project and then forget where all your other flosses are that you bought for other projects? What do you do? I want to know how you handle that situation, because I'm here to share with you what I do, but I'm also here to learn. So, but I am excited about that. I hope to get it done sometime in the next year for her room. So there is that. I did do, I finished a Quilt of Valor. Got the binding put on that for our local Quilt of Valor group. I did some church labels on my embroidery machine for a church that they make baby blankets for every baby born in their church. But none of the ladies embroider labels. So I embroider their labels for them for a very small fee. I did finish the embroidered quilt top. It was hanging up behind me, my last video, I'm sure. And it's not quilted or anything, but, and I'm not sure which way is up, but I got all the squares done with the binding strips between them. So next is to quilt it. And do I quilt it myself? It's a big quilt. Do I pay somebody to quilt it? This is for my sister. This is for my oldest sister. And she's super excited to get it, and everybody loves it, and I'll be glad when that one's done. I do have to get some backing. So when I go to the shop hop next week, I will be looking for some backing fabric. I do prefer a whole piece for backing. It's just easier. I can piece some. I've done that before too. So we'll just see what happens, because I have pieces too. Something else that I've been working on is I go to several retreats a year. I go in the spring and in the fall to Luther Ridge, which is a church camp in Asheville. They have a thing called Scrap Camp. It's been going on for over 15 years. I've been going since I've been here. Excuse me. And I have lots of friends there, and it's just a wonderful get-together. My sister also comes down from Ohio and goes with me as well, since she went digital. I have another friend, several friends from Ohio that come down that either traditional scrapbookers or quilters. So it's a lot of fun. And one year I was doing a scrapbook page, and I said the name of my scrapbook page was Scrap Camp. This is my tribe. And so somebody said, oh, wouldn't that be great on a t-shirt? So we chose purple for our color, and I designed this little, this is my tribe. And so I have made t-shirts for years for everybody. And this year, last year when we met, someone said, I want a big purple sweatshirt. So I have been working on these. They take about maybe an hour to stitch out. I still have to go through and cut my threads and whatever, but I have several more of those left to do. I'll probably work on that today. And so that has been keeping me busy. I just have, this is my wonderful icon, creative icon 1.0. They have a new one now, 2.0. A lot of people bought both of them. I can't afford that. It's only a single needle, but it does a wonderful job embroidering. But you do have to sit there and baby it a little bit. It'll stitch out all these letters, all the blues and all the reds together. And then I get a little bit of time when it's stitching this, maybe 45 minutes of time that I can be doing something else in the sewing room while that is stitching out. I don't ever want to leave it because heaven forbid something would happen. But so there's that. That's been keeping me busy as well. Another thing I have been working on ever since I got back from California is my son gave me his old desktop computer. He was into music, producing music and all of that. And this baby has like 4 hard drives on it, more space than I could ever use. And he had a double monitor set up for it. And he was going to sell it. And I go, give it to me. I'll take it. Along with the Peloton, which I also have, which I haven't been using yet. But as soon as life gets back to normal, I will be. But I had to get my scrapbooking program, which I represent the company Forever. And their software program is called Artisan 6.0. And you can use that on 2 computers, but I had to update it for that one. And then I keep all of my digital kits and albums and things I'm working on an external hard drive. So I can just plug this external hard drive in from my laptop to the desktop and continue working on whatever project I'm working on. And that's taken a while to get going. There was a glitch. Of course, I had to have some support tech help me get my kits and everything back in order and recognized, and finally got that done. And the other big issue that I had was I store all my photos in Historian, which is a software program by Forever, and forever.com if you want to look it up. Choose me as your ambassador, Donna Jolly. And you can only have that on 1 computer, so you have to buy another program to have a license for the second computer. And I was trying to just download my photos that I wanted to work on from my Forever online storage, and that was just taking way too much time, too cumbersome. It was not fun. So Historian and Artisan both are only $129 for each program. So I did bite the bullet and bought Historian. So now and my vault for Historian is on my external hard drive. So when I plug it into either computer, either the laptop or the desktop, all my pictures are there. I don't have to re-download them for my online storage or whatever. So that is super, super exciting. And the monitors, of course, are much bigger than my laptop. And I really like that. Easier to see. Just gives me some options to work on with. If I want to work out here while I'm embroidering something, I can do that. So I'm super excited about that. That was a process. That's taken me a couple of months to get it up and running the way I want it. So that has been going on. I've had this fabric, these wonderful little, you see it behind me, these wonderful little fabric strips. I've had this jelly roll. Actually, one year I won like 10 jelly rolls from an online Instagram contest. Loved it. Loved it. I never won anything. Haven't won anything since then either. But so I've been working my way through using these jelly rolls. And I saw this on, this is Fat Quarter Shop, the Jelly Roll Sizzle, which was a free pattern that they had. And so I wanted to make a little bit bigger. So this took 2 jelly rolls for a twin size, which is 60.5 by 84.5. So what I did, I took the 1 jelly roll I had when I was in Ohio last summer, and there was a really nice quilt store that I loved that was going out of business. I was so sad. But they had fabric on sale, 20% off or something. It was just starting when I was there. So I went around and I bought extra fabric to go with the jelly roll. I really couldn't tell you right now what is what. And then I used my handy dandy AccuQuilt die cutter to cut my 2.5-inch strips. And this was super easy to do. Sew 2 strips together and then cut them and subcut them into 12.5 lengths, and then take a square and sew on the corner and then flip and cut, you know, and makes the little pinwheel design that you see. And very colorful. I don't normally do things that are this colorful, though I love colorful things. I have a lot of kits that I need to finish that are colorful things. My granddaughter keeps asking me if this is hers. It may very well end up being hers. That's not written in stone yet, Miss Raven, but, you know, she likes it. And I don't, you know, but just like making quilts, I don't really need them all. But so I'm excited to, and I've only worked on this for a couple of days. So I had all my strips, sewed them together one day. One day I cut them. One day I actually came out here after work at 8 o'clock at night when husband and son-in-law were watching football and the kids were actually in bed, and I sewed my strips together and ironed them. And then the next day, all I had to do was sew on the corners. So it's kind of been a couple of day process. And today I'm going to get the embroidery machine running and putting some more sweatshirts together for scrap camp, and sewing some strips together for this quilt and making the blocks so I can put it all together. The other retreat that I go to every year is in the spring and in the fall is in Ohio, my hometown, Beulah Beach, our church camp there, which is owned by the Alliance, Christian Missionary Alliance. And I had so much fun going to scrap camp and making new friends that I wanted to share that experience with my old friends from Ohio. So I got together a group of girls, and there might be 15 of us, there might be 20 of us. And but we go up there. They have a beautiful facility. It's right on the shores of Lake Erie. It'll be the first weekend in November. It runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but you can come a day early. Very affordable, $150 for the weekend, $40 extra if you want to come an extra day. And it's just, I've made a lot of new friends up there too, but I get to go see my old friends, and I get to see my sister too. So that is just so much fun. And I always have to plan that they're not too close together. So one's the 1st of October, one's the 1st of November. So that's always kind of tricky, trying to keep my retreats far enough apart. And of course, then this year I added the StitchCon retreat, which is where I did my very first floss tube. And that opened up for signups, I think it was the 1st of September. And I did get on the waiting list. That doesn't mean you're guaranteed a spot. You have to wait until they process invoices, and you have to have money in your bank within 7 days to pay for it. So the price went up considerably on that. That one's $275 just to attend, not including your hotel. So super excited about that. But it was a lot of fun. I made a lot of new friends. Just super excited to see if I get in for that. That is in June. So that one's far enough apart, you know, from the spring and fall. I got a summer one in there. I would love to go to more retreats. I mean, if I didn't have to work and I had money, I would go to retreat every weekend, because I know there are retreats every weekend. But sadly, that is not my life right now. I'm very thankful for my life, my little house on a hill here in Mooresville, North Carolina, and looking forward to the next transition when the kids move out. And I'm sure I will be down there 1 or 2 days a week to help out. I'm sure Saturdays will probably be a day, excuse me, that I'm down there, because I'm sure they're both going to end up working on Saturdays as well. Or maybe Nana will go down on Friday and stay all night, or bring the kids home. I don't know. We took the kids to the park yesterday, and then we took them out to a new place to eat. They have been coming into Chick-fil-A once a week. We have a family night going on now here in Mooresville on Thursday nights. They have a lady who's doing crafts during that time for the kids, and they're loving that. I guess Papa a break. They can play for hours. I mean, you know, 2 hours is usually pretty good, but they could stay for more. Once the other kids leave, it's like, it's not fun anymore. But after one episode, we took them to Lowe's to see the Halloween decorations, and they loved that. Of course, we had to buy a creepy doll and a big spider. And then the next time we went to Hobby Lobby and saw all their Halloween and fall decorations, and Christmas. Yes, Christmas is full-fledged at Hobby Lobby right now. We did buy some little scarecrows and signs for the front porch that represent Raven and Price and Papa, and that was really cute. And so every time now they want to go somewhere afterwards. We don't do that every time, but so we've been having fun and doing activities with them, which is, you know, a real blessing, and we're thankful that we get to do that. Next week, my other daughter that lives here is going on a cruise, and I will be supervising from afar the older children, 12, 18, and 20. Pretty much just reminding the 12-year-old that he needs to plug in his iPad and those kind of things. I think the food situation is all covered, and the older one, Kyle, is driving them all to school, him and his brother to school, so there's no pickup or drop-offs needed. So, but I'm always excited to see them as well. I miss them, but they're older and busy, and I don't always get to see them as often as I'd like. But so that's a little bit about what's going on. I am looking forward to somewhat getting back to normal and getting a better stitching routine going. I have decided that my priority really needs to be spending time with the grandchildren right now, and I know you all understand that, since I have missed out on so much over the 6 years of their lives. And so I just chill. Sometimes I don't even pick up anything at night and work on it. I just spend time with grandkids. We'll watch something, we'll read, we'll do an activity, whatever it takes. And of course, bath nights are always fun, and laying down with them when it's time to go to bed. Their parents still go to bed with them, and they like that, and that's okay if that's how they want to raise them. And they won't always be sleeping with their parents. I can guarantee you that. So that's it for now. That's a wrap. I'm going to try to teach myself some editing. I took some video of the quilt and the cross stitch before, so I'm going to try